Are you feeling the squeeze when you go out into public? Are you feeling that collective energy drain you of your vital life force and you don't want to interact? A lot of people who are empaths would say that you need protection. There's a lot of videos, it's a very new age thing, protection, but I want to talk about that from an authentic experience. And I've had these sensitivities for 25 years. So I've had a lot of time to think about this and a lot of time to work with it. And so as I tried to come up with a way to describe this word ensnared kept coming to me. And I believe a lot of you are being ensnared by the words of your mouth, and that a snare is a very simple trap, and it seems very unassuming. If an animal walks up to the snare, there's a simple piece of bait in the center, and usually there's a wire and a loop, and it's bound to a tree. It's a very simple trap. So many of you right now are ensnared in the electronic ether. You're ensnared in the field of energy that's produced between this duality, this argument that has been occurring on Facebook and or amongst your friends and family. You're ensnared in the words of your mouth. And what a snare is set to trap you. Now, we have to ask, who's the one who set this snare? I'll let you guys figure it out. But I know that there are these lower astral forms, there are these lower parasitic realms that feed off of our energy fields. And I believe that that one who controls those parasites is setting these snares for you. And so one of the things that's about protection is understanding when and where you are. You're in the age of deception. We are at this transitionary period between one era and another, and that age is the age of deception. And so as you look out at the world and you wonder why nothing is adding up, whatever your point of view is, the ones with a discerning heart understand that this is not adding up. Then you can make a choice. And that choice, if you want to protect yourself, would be to back away from the trap. Understand that the trap has been laid for you. So in order to keep the collective energy here lower and lower and draw you in, even if you're not an empath, even if you're somebody who's just like, I don't understand I just feel depressed, I'm just dismayed, I'm not getting it, like this, and you beating your head against this wall. When you are in the age of deception. That's what this is. During that time, you will, your soul can be ensnared by the movement of your lips. And what comes out of your lips is the word, but the word starts in the mind. And so as you speak a word, you're creating a field of energy, hence a spell. This is what they used to call it. Well, nowadays, what you have is this artificial ether created from social media, and many of you, all of you, at one time have participated, but many of you continue to participate, and you are ensnared by your lips. Your soul has been captured. Little bits of it are captured and pulled off of you because you are engaging in the game of the hunter and the hunted. And are you going to be the hunter or the hunted? I'm the hunter. That's a different story. So if you find yourself being drawn back into that, and you're going, you're looking out at the world, and then you go out to the store, and then you're on the Facebook, and you want to post yet another post about, masks need to be worn by everyone. Masks don't need to be worn by everyone. Whatever it is, it doesn't matter. The snare, both are snares, and they were both set by the same provincial energy, the same sponsoring spirit of those parasites set the trap on both sides. Smart, very cunning. So be the person, if you want to be protected, be the person that's wise enough and discerning with your heart enough to let the meditation of your heart and the contemplation of your heart be on that which is good, right? And that could be for you resting, staying away from people. That's okay. There's a time, you're in, like they would say, like a season. You're in this season of deception. So and how much energy are you going to invest in trying to lift these other people up who do not understand what you're talking about? How much good are you going to do like that? Or is it a time to go into the meditation of your heart, be with what you know is good, and put your attention on it? Because what we attend to is what we worship. And so every time you attend to these arguments, you're worshiping that provincial energy which sponsors the parasitic lower astral realm. And that's not saying that there's not a time and there's not a archetype that is distinctly created in order to do that. But if you're becoming frustrated or drained from that process, or losing sleep over it, or you're caught in an addiction cycle with it, you're ensnared. And that is literally drawing energy from your soul. And so protection comes, you can like burn sage and all that, but protection comes from wisdom. It comes from understanding when and where you are. And so you are in the age of deception. Understand that. When you try to find reason in the world, you're not going to find it because there's none to be had. But with the discernment of your heart, you can know that, and you can animate your field of energy with that wisdom and knowing. And then you walk as the evidence of faith. So the Neville Goddard would say you're living in the end, right? So we know we're going to be okay. You know that you're resonating at this frequency. You know that whatever it is, something in your heart knows about you. And you need to remember that and live in that end before it arrives. And so that's faith, right? So or law of attraction, okay? So if you wanted to do the law of attraction type of thing, then it's the same method, right? Just different words. You know something's okay. So why would you invest your energy in this artificial ether that leads nowhere, that only ensnares and draws from you? And so a snare is a very simple trap, and it's one that all of us have fallen into. And if you're feeling that squeeze when you go outside, then it's time to understand that backing away 100%, right? Think about an animal, and that's why this word resonates, right? So a lot of you are like, I'm off social media for the day or a week or whatever. But what happens with the animal, right? That animal is like, he comes down the trail day after day, and that little breadcrumb is in that snare, and he's like, and what happens? Sooner or later, he takes the bait. So wisdom and protection is being the one who doesn't take the bait. Don't be ensnared. Om.